Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Faith, and you guys, it's no longer news that Steve Harvey is going through a rough time with his marriage. So following this news, his daughter Lori Harvey has called him out for divorcing his wife Marjorie. And you guys, I'm super excited as always. If you're here to subscribe to this channel, please consider subscribing. Give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And without much ado, let's see what this video is all about.
Y'all, it looks like things have hit the roof between Steve and Marjorie Harvey, because word on the streets is that Marjorie cheated on Steve not once, but twice with two different men. And as if that's not messy enough, streets of Twitter are running wild with rumors that she is also filing for divorce and asking for half of everything that Steve has. And allegedly, Marjorie's daughter Lori is defending Marjorie and thinks Steve is being a bad husband. Is Lori really blaming Steve for Marjorie cheating on him? Okay, so y'all know that people have been talking about Steve Harvey and Marjorie's marriage and how it looks kind of messed up and all that for ages now. People have been saying that the marriage doesn't look as glamorous and perfect as these two have been making it seem. And child, the way they got exposed over the last couple of days have been nothing short of insane. According to multiple sources, Marjorie has been cheating on Steve with multiple different men, including Steve's bodyguard and their personal chef. This was just insane because Steve is known to be like a relationship guru. And Steve recently spoke to People magazine and admitted that Marjorie changed his entire perspective on marriages and relationships. He said, "Marjorie changed the way I existed. I'd never been in a healthy adult relationship. I'd never been loyal. I'd never been fully respected." Child, not this man admitting to being a long-term cheat. Anyways, the reason why people have also had suspicions about their marriage is because of their very interesting past and how their relationship progressed. So Steve and Marjorie first met in the 1990s, and it was love at first sight for them. Well, at least it was for Steve, because we don't really know how Marjorie felt about him at the time. Marjorie attended a comedy club where Steve was performing, and he immediately put moves on her. They kept in touch for a couple of weeks, but Marjorie ultimately decided not to go ahead with the relationship because Steve was a struggling comedian who was still broke at the time. He was still trying to get his coins right, and Marjorie was not about to stick with struggle love, especially not after she had been involved with not one, but two drug dealers who had spent a lot of money on her. So she was not about to stick with a man who didn't have the bag yet. The wild thing about this is that both Steve and Marjorie were married at the time, but it wasn't their marriages that stopped them. I guess Steve wasn't lying when he said that he was never loyal. What made this even worse is that the woman Steve was married to at the time, Mary Shackelford, had been super supportive of Steve and his career. I mean, this woman literally put her entire life savings into Steve and helped him set up his first comedy club. And he later dumped her when he got the bag, and then Marjorie. And speaking of Marjorie, did y'all know that Steve is her third husband? Like I said before, she had been married to two different drug dealers before Steve, so it wasn't surprising that she didn't want him when he was broke. Her first husband was a man named Jim Townsend, and he is the father of Marjorie's first two kids. Unfortunately, he got busted while trying to buy 40 kilos of nose candy when Marjorie was pregnant with their second child, Jason. At the time, the authorities suspected that Marjorie was involved with Jim's business, but she denied it, and Jim also took a plea deal to get her off the hook. She divorced Jim not long after he was sentenced to prison, and she got married to another dealer named Donnell Woods, who is believed to be Lori's biological father. But then Donnell also got busted by the authorities, and just like she did with Jim, Marjorie divorced him after he went to prison. So the fact that Marjorie has a shady history with two drug dealers and then refused to date Steve while he was broke and then started an affair with him while he was still married has led people to have a not so great perception of her. And for the longest time, many people low-key believe that she is only with Steve for his money, and that if he wasn't the millionaire he is today, she wouldn't have even given him a second chance like she did. But as we know, Steve was more than happy when she gave him the green light the second time around and they started dating. They ended up getting married in 2007, and Steve has made it more than clear that he is obsessed with her and spends a lot of money on her.
Name something you think Steve Harvey spends a lot of money on.
Wife, Steve.
Yes!
And apart from the part about him loving her for who she was, he also legally adopted her children and gave them his last name. Marjorie's reasoning behind making Steve adopt her kids and give them his last name is that she wanted to distance her kids from their biological father's illegal activities and that their fathers were serving time. She wanted her kids to have a fresh start, and the fact that she was able to give them a new millionaire father made it even better. Plus, can we talk about how much Steve loves her kids, especially Lori? I mean, people have pointed out that it's pretty clear that he loves Lori more than his own biological kids.
On one of our annual father-daughter dates to my favorite Japanese restaurant, and you just started talking to me about guys, and you just told me that you always supported me and you'd always be there for me no matter what, and you loved me unconditionally.
So yeah, Steve adores Marjorie. He pays for her expensive lifestyle and that of her kids. He gave her kids his last name and wrote them into his will. It's a lot that he has done for her, so it was pretty wild when I heard the rumors that she would step out on him. And honestly, if it's true, you know how they say karma is a cold-hearted bee. Steve pretty much confirmed that he cheated on his previous marriages, and as Beyonce said, what goes around comes back around. Oh, and y'all want to know what's interesting about this situation? It's that the person that she allegedly cheated with is Steve's bodyguard, who is actually the same person that linked her to Steve after so many years. Y'all know how I said that Steve and Marjorie first met in the 90s, but they went their separate ways? Well, Steve himself said that his bodyguard remembered Marjorie and insisted that Steve pursue a relationship with her. Steve himself made this revelation to People magazine back in 2016, saying, he told me, look, the only time I've ever seen you happy was when you were with that woman Marjorie. Now before you go and do something stupid and marry another woman, I'm calling her. It was like being reborn. I messed up so many times in my life. She made all the difference. When you're happy at home, you can make a lot of things happen. So y'all, imagine how people felt when they found out that the same man that linked Marjorie and Steve after 10 years is the same man that Marjorie was having the affair with. And not only did Marjorie allegedly cheat on Steve, but rumor has it that she is also going to be filing for divorce any time from now, and she will be asking for half of everything that Steve has. The news of the affair had the internet in shambles, and people started dragging Steve and Marjorie. However, Steve finally came forward to deny the allegations.
Before I get started, just let me say, I'm fine. Marjorie's fine. I don't know what y'all doing, but find something else to do. We fine. Okay. Lord have mercy.
Even Marjorie took to her Insta to deny these and wrote, my husband and I don't usually stop to address all of the foolishness and lies that have been spread about us. However, to whom much is given, much is required. I understand that with my platform comes some sort of responsibility to those that may not be as strong as we are. But that's not all on the drama, because allegedly Marjorie's daughter Lori is hella mad at Steve for not defending Marjorie much faster and letting all these rumors run wild and letting her drag all over the internet. The insider said that Lori felt like Steve should have shut down the rumors immediately after they started going around and not waiting for days to address it. The insider also added that the rumors and how they took days to address it have caused a lot of tension in the family. But fans don't buy his denial, and they left comments saying, he hasn't cleared up a thing. Wendy Williams attempted this same thing until she could no longer cover it up. Steve, just keep it real. You ain't the only one that this has happened to. And he's just embarrassed that it's out and in the open and doesn't know how to address it. But do y'all believe Steve's denial, or do you think that he's just trying to save face? Also, what do you think about Lori's accusations about Steve setting Marjorie up to get dragged? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.
Wow, you guys, that was such an interesting one. And let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think that this is real? Is it really happening, or this is just a rumor? Because Steve Harvey coming out to say that they are both fine says a lot. I don't know how true this is, but I want to find out more. Let me know what's going on in their life as of recently. Are they really going through a divorce process? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I really had fun reacting to this video. If you guys totally enjoyed watching, give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And this is me officially signing out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.